This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, September 17th, 2025. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Medevac helicopter shot in Alabama. Vandalism continues at memorials around the United States. Vehicle ramming attack reported at FBI office in Pittsburgh. On the home front, in the United States, around the nation, various vandalism incidents continue at Charlie Kirk memorials. In North Carolina, a memorial was defaced at the UNC Wilmington campus, with the university making statements that passively endorse the behavior and that no action will be taken. In Florida, the memorials painted at the Graffiti Bridge in Pensacola have also been heavily defaced over the past 24 hours, and another memorial was defaced in Arkansas as well. In Pennsylvania this afternoon, multiple casualties were reported after police responded to a domestic disturbance call. 5 officers were wounded after a skirmish broke out at a rural property south of Spring Grove, with 3 officers remaining in critical condition as a result of the engagement. The suspect was recovered deceased at the scene. Also in Pennsylvania, overnight a vehicle ramming attack was reported at the FBI field office in Pittsburgh. Donald Henson was arrested after crashing his vehicle into the gates of the facility before fleeing the scene on foot. After a brief manhunt, the suspect was apprehended this morning. Analysts comment, though this was a targeted attack, this could be more of a case of mental illness rather than a more coherent attack. The suspect had painted statements on his vehicle and had previously been reported for erratic behavior by family members. In Arizona, a suspicious package was discovered outside the headquarters of Turning Point USA, which triggered a police response. EOD personnel were dispatched to examine the bag, which was determined to be a false alarm. In Alabama this morning, one medevac helicopter was struck with effective surface-to-air fire or SAFIRE in the vicinity of County Road 51 in Autauga County. Local authorities arrested Peter Ellison for shooting a life flight helicopter in the process of responding to a medical emergency. Several rounds impacted the helicopter and one flight nurse was wounded during the attack. In Washington, D.C. this morning, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr made statements indicating an investigation into the ABC Corporation's licensing stipulations after comments were made during Jimmy Kimmel's show last night that falsely state that Tyler Robinson was a political conservative and conducted the murder of Charlie Kirk as a result of conservative ideology. Analyst comments for this wire. One of the follow-on effects of the Kirk assassination is a closer examination of platforms which have allowed open calls for violence over the years with no repercussions. This is why the CEOs of Twitch, Discord, Reddit, and Steam have been requested to testify before Congress next month regarding the overwhelmingly one-sided policing of content on their platforms. Several influencers and content streamers have openly called for violence against political conservatives for many years now, breaking many of these own companies' terms and conditions for content production. Nevertheless, the violent rhetoric has been allowed for so long that it's shifted out of the realm of a free speech issue and into the territory of quite literal attack planning efforts. The White House, mostly Attorney General Pam Bondi and President Trump himself, is doing an exceptionally poor job at describing this investigative effort, framing the issue without the nuance required to clearly state what is happening. However, as the violence from the political left has not decreased but rather increased after Kirk's murder, this is a detail very important for risk assessment at a time where the threats are becoming increasingly more serious. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, September 17th, 2025.